Bro, this is how non-guarantees are going to come into our league right here for like this. We fought our ass off through 5 and 6 goddamn lockouts to get to a point where there's where we protect the integrity of the talent. And then that talent has a responsibility to be professional, come in here and do your job. You think I like Glenn Taylor? You think I like that mom? No. Nah, you think Paul like Witt at one point when they weren't seeing eye to eye? We came in, we did our jobs, you got paid, and you went home. You go home, soon as you get opportunity to change that, you change it.
Jimmy Butler is gone out of Miami. He was traded to Golden State. And I, for one, as a person who was born and raised in Miami, am happier than ever. Good riddance, Jimmy. Now, I know that seems harsh, but I gotta paint a picture to make you understand what Jimmy walked away from. What Jimmy threw away, essentially for a few extra $1 million. Let me explain to you the city of Miami. The city of Miami, besides the rich people that move in because the weather's nice, the people that mainly make up the city of Miami are usually people that are immigrants from other countries or people that migrate from different parts of the states because they're usually not wanted from their motherland, essentially. My parents are a part of this. They were persecuted by their government where they were from, and they moved to a different country so they don't have to face persecution. A lot of these people were not wanted by their motherland. Jimmy was not wanted by a bunch of these NBA teams because after playing 1 or 2 seasons, they'd let him go and trade him or let him walk. He wasn't wanted by anybody. And most people that are from Miami can somewhat relate to that. And that's why he fit right into our culture. That's why we accepted that man as one of our own. I mean, this man engraved himself in the culture so much. You saw pictures and videos of this man playing dominoes in the corner, drinking a Cuban coffee, smoking himself a Cuban cigar. You saw this man engraved in the culture of Miami. If you would have asked somebody who didn't know, they would have said, oh yeah, this dude been living in Miami his whole life. Miami wasn't just a team he played for. Miami gave this dude a home. And I'm not just talking about the team, I'm talking about the people. And not a house, I'm talking about a home. That's different. And a lot of people will say, well, Miami didn't really support this dude. They didn't give him any superstars to join him. They could have gotten Dame, they could have gotten James Harden, they could have gotten KD probably at some point. But what if I told you that Jimmy played in a star-studded roster before, back when he was in the 76ers? This might seem like a joke to you, but Ben Simmons was an all-star caliber player at that point. He was one of the better younger players in the league. Dude was one of the best playmakers in the league. Dude was also a really good defender. They also had Joel Embiid, who was entering his prime. Also really good defender. Really great player overall. Tobias Harris was averaging 18 points a game. JJ Redick was averaging 18 points a game. This team was stacked. This was the best, in my opinion, the best talent Jimmy has had surrounding him. And what did they do? They got to the second round where Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors took them boys out. Even though we might have not surrounded that dude with stars, we surrounded him with weapons that would make him a better player. At the end of the day, Miami may not, at least in recent memory, not be signing any big free agents, but our draft record is impeccable. I mean, dude, we've drafted Bam Adebayo with the 14th pick, Tyler Hero with the 13th pick, Jaime Jaquez with the 18th pick, Kelly Ware with the 15th pick. Kelly Ware is seemingly gonna become a starter level quality center soon and seems to be a very promising player. And Jaime Jaquez was touted as being one of the more underrated players from the draft last year. I think he finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year. And not just that, on top of surrounding him with people we drafted, the small free agent moves we would make, getting somebody like Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, adding somebody like Duncan Robinson to the roster. A lot of these players were nobodies. And then guess what? Once they came to Miami, they showed out. And then after they left Miami, they weren't as good as when they were in Miami. The Miami Heat have this thing. It's called Heat culture. I know it's corny. It sounds corny, but it is true. I believe that we played a huge part in developing LeBron James' career. When I say we, I'm talking Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. And we did that for a lot of these other players. Again, most players that leave the Heat end up playing worse somewhere else. And the thing is that we made these players the best versions of themselves, and that includes Jimmy Butler. Because he had players that were the best versions of themselves around him, and because he himself was the best version of himself, because the Heat put him in a place to succeed, that's why they were able to make the finals. That's why he was able to have the most success with them. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, the Heat would have got into those finals appearances, those 2 finals appearances without Jimmy. No, I don't think so, but I think it's mutual. Jimmy would not have gotten to the finals without the Heat. He would not have gotten to the finals without Jimmy. It is a mutual relationship. So, okay, y'all both having a mutual relationship. What did the Heat do to pay Jimmy back for his services, for everything the man had been doing? Well, the Heat signed him to a 3-year, $146 million extension, making him in the 2023 and 2024 season the 11th highest paid player in the NBA, which I think the Miami Heat paid him very well for what he was doing and also for his age. Contract kicked in 2023. That dude was 33 years old. Do you realize that Miami Heat let D Wade walk at the age of 34? D Wade, who won them actual championships, not just got them to the final, won them actual championships solo and with LeBron, and was part of the reason LeBron even got there in the first place. And they said goodbye to this man at 34. They were more loyal to Jimmy than they were with D Wade. I need you to keep that in mind. So Jimmy gave us some of the best performances in the playoffs, leading us to 2 finals berths. He gave him a contract, making him one of the highest paid players in the entire NBA. So I think mutually, both sides are doing their part. We're going to pay you good, you're going to play good. But guess what? Jimmy started playing worse. And not just worse, he also started getting injured more often and missed the playoffs when he was injured. And when he would come back, he wasn't really the same type of player. And the funny thing is, the Heat on multiple occasions, on a lot of occasions, looked better without Jimmy than with Jimmy. Jimmy would take the ball up a lot. Yeah, he's a decent shot creator, but at the end of the day, you have dudes like Tyler that are developing well and coming into their own, and at this point are better, just a better player offensively. Same thing with Bam Adebayo, and a lot of these players are just beginning to play better as Jimmy is declining. So while Jimmy is declining, he essentially wanted to get paid more than what he was already being paid. He wanted an extension where he was getting paid more than $48 million a year. If you're working a job and they think, hey, you've done this amount of work for us, great, we're going to give you this contract with this amount of money. Now let's say you underperform that contract horribly, right? You regress from what you were able to produce the year before, and after producing less, you walk in and try to negotiate for more money. Your boss would look at you like you're crazy. You wouldn't even walk into the room to renegotiate for more money. You'd be appreciative of the money you're making right now because you probably don't deserve it. And that's the key aspect of it. I'm fine with the Heat paying Jimmy Butler $48 million a season, even though at this point he is not worth it at all. But it was almost like a loyalty thing. Like, hey, we're going to be loyal to you because you was loyal to us. But no, Jimmy wanted more money. Jimmy thought he could then bully the Heat into giving him what he wanted. Keep in mind, this is an organization that when push came to shove, they let D Wade walk at the age of 34. They let LeBron walk when LeBron was in the prime. He was the best player in the entire NBA, hitting his prime, and they said goodbye. Riley, safe to say, sticks to his guns. And if you thought you was going to be able to bully more money out of Riley, man, you had another thing coming. But this is when we started seeing the ugly, really ugly side of Jimmy. The dude was a completely different person than when he first signed to the Heat. Now, Jimmy himself will tell you, no, I didn't do all this for extra money. I'm just not happy here. I'm not happy, even though we've seen that this place has accepted him better than any other fan base, team, culture, or anything. I'm not happy here. All right, then what would make you happy? And he said, I probably get my happiness anywhere that's not here. Okay, Grizzlies came in. Hey, we want to do a deal for Jimmy. Jimmy said, you going to pay me more money? They said, no. Why would we do that? You said you wanted to be happy. And Jimmy said, okay, yeah, I'm not going to re-sign with y'all if y'all trade for me. Grizzlies stepped out. Warriors stepped in. Hey, we want to trade for you, Jimmy. Jimmy's like, are you going to pay me more money? The Warriors were like, no, why would we do that? He was like, well, then don't trade me because then I won't re-sign for y'all. Again, I thought it was about happiness, but now you're telling these teams you don't want to re-sign for them? See, you can talk, but actions speak louder than words. And your actions are leading me to think that you're doing this for more money. And guess what? When the Warriors came back to the table, they hashed out a trade with the Miami Heat, and Jimmy Butler got packed and sent out all the way to Golden State. Magically, Golden State paid this dude. And not only that, they paid him, and now he's going to be making, starting next year, more money than Steph Curry. This dude wanted to get paid the same amount of money Steph Curry gets paid to score 17 points a game. And keep in mind, this man was already making $48 million. You can say you wanted happiness, that is a bold-faced lie. If you was, maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe money is the only thing that makes him happy. And if you're a person and money is the only thing in this world that makes you happy, you are a sad human being. At the end of the day, you threw away your home. You threw away the culture that accepted you. You threw away the team that put their arms around you, surrounded you with talent. Maybe not superstars, but the right talent to bring the best out of you. This team brought the best out of you in every way, shape, or form. They gave you a legacy. You threw that all out for a few extra $1 million. Jimmy, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that one day you find what you're actually looking for. If you guys like this video, please leave a like, subscribe. Have a great day. Peace.